All right, Cage. Welcome back.
Yo,
Episode 587 of Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze. Oh, my. Let's see. Super Bowl tomorrow. Aaron Rodgers just got his fourth MVP.
Fourth MVP, yeah.
Lamim had a great post. He's like, the proven Hall of Famer with like 4 MVPs, and then his chart's flat. And then the baby goat who's had has done one thing well, and his cards go crazy. I think he was comparing Burrow to Rodgers. So
it was, yes. It was Burrow to Rodgers.
We could talk about that. Is there UFC tonight?
There is Adesanya against Whitaker.
Yep. So we could talk a little bit about that. I have an NBA play. What's top of mind for you? I saw Ian finish that amazing.
I haven't checked the post on that yet. That's pretty cool, right?
Greatness takes time.
We woke up this morning while his project is due on Monday. We woke up this morning. I'm like, Ian, what do you want to do today, man? You want to finish that church and we got to do your project? He's like, no, I want to procrastinate. I go, well, that's how we got here. Like we were building that thing like New Year's. Like you got to get this thing done here. So his mom helped out a lot, and
Julie did.
They got done. Yeah, she helped out a lot.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she helped out.
No, I don't believe it.
A lot. Yeah, worked on it with him, but I mean, there's a lot of like little, fine motor stuff. Add this in, the whole deal, and she was definitely very, very helpful. A few hours worth of time. In the middle, we took a little break. Ian and I went outside, and we went around our block, which is a pretty nice, deal. Throwing the football to each other. He was on the sidewalk. I was in the street running like a fat guy because it's nice. It's like 60-something degrees here today. So I had the ball. I bought him for Christmas. I bought him a Green Bay football. We have so much like Giants and Jet stuff here. So Santa brought him a Green Bay football because they were, I was like, oh, they could be playing meaningful football, Plus he likes green, and I don't know, he's got enough Jets crap.
Did you know that Green Bay Packers are owned by their fans?
No, they are not.
Is that not the accurate way to describe that?
There are shares of the Green Bay Packers that
retained
are issued. But the Packers, you can be a shareholder, and it does not do anything for you. I think it's like an invitation to an event, maybe like a shareholder meeting kind of thing, sort of like the Warren Buffett thing. But think of it more like every shareholder is a shareholder of Berkshire B. And you know the difference between Berkshire A and Berkshire B, right? The Berkshire B is non-voting. Think of it like Google shareholders, right? There's class A, B, and C, right? Goog and Google, right? There's the one with the L at the end. So it is not, quote unquote, owned by the shareholders. There are shares of it. Now, Manchester United is owned by the shareholders. That's a publicly traded sports team. Manu, MANU, is the stock ticker for Man United. I remember looking at that. It was one of the things I was thinking about doing when I bought Collector's Universe stock a long time ago and sold it way too soon, obviously. I'm looking at Man United. The stock was like $14 at the time. Who knows what it's at now? But Man United, MANU. Don't tell me if it flew. The other day, he texted me, who I used to work with in 2018, 2017, and said, hey, didn't you used to love AMD stock? And I'm like, yeah, I loved it. I loved it. It was $7. And, I had like 30-something thousand shares of it. And they wrote back something like 2.6 million. And I'm like, oh, God. Because the thing is like, I bought it like 7, and it's like $140, $150 a share. But a lot of things have 20x since then. If I would have left my money in that, I couldn't have bought, all the baseball cards and basketball cards and 2012 Prisms and LeBrons and, whatever else I bought.
All those Pete Alonsos.
Those Andre Drummonds.
Mariano Rivera's.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, it's a good starting point, right? Gary V has this great saying. It's I love blueberries. I eat them like it's my job. But that's not the saying I meant. He that's one of his sayings. It's just not a great one. The great saying is don't look back,
backwards.
Right? Looking backwards, it's a net, right?
Fucks with your net.
So, and it's kind of true, I mean, and Jeff Wilson brought it up in the episode 2 days ago too. Like, your sunk cost, your story of how you got to the point where you're at now, it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's assess where you are and move forward. So love that, love that mentality. I kind of bring it into what we're doing. We can talk about any of your stuff. I do want to say, I got a message. I think, maybe it was Rogue One Cards. I don't want to misquote, and I also don't want to go off camera. Maybe I'll go for a second when you start talking Rogue Cards. But I don't know if he's right. But I gave a play. Remember the Hello Kitty cards? And I got a message, and it's like, the Hello Kitty cards was an awesome play, man. My kid loves it. We're opening them up. What do you got there? I can't see. Well, I can't really see it. It's very glary. I'm sorry. Is it something good?
No, that's his profile.
I think that's who it is. I'm not 100% certain. I'd have to check.
Josh Allen avatar.
It was on Discord.
Oh,
Anyway, so that's fun, and it leads me into my topic to start. And I'll just jump right into my play. Have fun with this stuff, guys. Really, have fun with it. Find something that is going to be fun for you. If you're a parent like me, listen to that message that I got about, hey, that Hello Kitty, which I'm sure I got panned for, right? And trust me, I will come back to that Hello Kitty play, just like I came back to my John Morant play from October and my Austin Matthews play and all these other plays that sound a little silly, and your Ben Simmons play when they turn out to be right. That Hello Kitty play, I talked about that. That was one where, they're like the second biggest franchise by billions, intellectual property wise. And I know that there's an NFT in the works that's going to bring a lot more attention to it. I'm sure there'll be another Netflix show and whatever the heck else they're going to do with it. It's just a huge global brand. So don't crap on it just yet. But I've been, the last couple weeks, there haven't been any releases that have come out, new stuff. I'm not playing Flawless to open with Ian. So we've been opening junk wax. Here's an example. So I got this box yesterday. I mentioned it at the end of my post from today with the Cathedral. That's Gary Carter. He's a Hall of Famer. Expo, Met, won with the 86 Mets. He was their catcher. He passed away, I think of cancer recently. But Gary Carter, if he's not in the Hall of Fame, he should be. Great ball player, known as the Kid. He's got that kid-like smile. But look, you see that price? You see how much that box was?
$165.
Just $35, exactly. 35. It's a little sloppy handwriting. And in that you get 36 packs for $1 a pack. And here's what was fun. That's Ken Griffey Jr.'s rookie year. There's 89 Donruss. You guys know I opened up Bowman last week. We actually got 2 Griffey rookies in the Bowman. We didn't get any in this. But
hot take, Griffey's super overrated. Keep going though.
That's a horrible take. Horrible take. Yeah, it's a horrible take. But
never won a championship.
It's no more of a hot take than when I say Trout is on the precipice of being overrated too, because they're very comparable players. They're going to have a lot of counting stats. They're guys who were at the top of their game, the best players in their game for many, many years, have a little bit of health issues. Griffey towards the tail end, Trout, danger of getting in there, and guys who will not finish in the top of any counting stat, but will be towards the top of almost all of them. Griffey was a little more beloved by fans, and Griffey was, somebody, people talk about Steph Curry now,
Griffey
like
has
changing the game
type of numbers. He had 3-4 good years at Seattle where he went 50 home runs, 56, 48. But other than that,
that's 4 very good ones.
Yeah,
it's like 200 home runs in a 4-year period. Bo Bichette played 150 games.
But he's regarded as like the great of his, like, and I don't see it. Dude. He had 4 good years.
No. He's got to look at career numbers, and yes, he definitely tailed off towards the end, but it wasn't even that. I mean, he was the slickest defensive player for a real long time. I mean, you got to watch some of his plays out there, which actually matters. He played with a smile. He brought, like I was just going to say, Steph Curry changed the game and brought like fun and pace and whatnot to basketball. People remember for that. That was Griffey when I was a kid. That the backwards hat, always smiling, bat flips, bat drops on monstrous home runs with just a sweet swing of a kid playing baseball in the majors, bubble gum, just having fun doing it in an old man's game, which is what it was and what it's become again. So there's more to it than just, how many years. And he played for a long time, and he had some really, really good seasons. But yeah, I mean, he never won a championship. Baseball, I mean, I can rattle off a list of people who never won a championship who were great. Championships are, baseball more than anything else, being the best on a big team with a huge roster. It's very difficult. The stars can only do so much in baseball. It really is. You have to have a team top to bottom. 1 or 2 very good players can get you to a championship in the NBA. Couple of players, star players, can get you to a championship in the NFL. Baseball's different story. It really is. But yeah, I mean, listen, we could talk about that. But so Griffey could be overrated. I get it, and it's actually something to think about, right? When you think about like longevity, he holds a different place for somebody like me who watched him play and was enamored by the style of play more than maybe his numbers. And it's something for like long term. Our kid's gonna care about him. He also was like, the Jordan type. He was the one who had the shoes, like the Griffey shoes, and there was a Griffey candy bar. He was one of those guys that kind of bridged into like more mainstream that way, right? So
I understand that, but you can't give credit for that to performance.
No, but performance is only one measurement. Performance is only one thing that we measure as far as like, somebody's greatness, somebody's legacy. But anyway, so I didn't get a Griffey in here, but if you got you want to open something, $35? It's like, it's open history. It's a junk wax. You can throw most of it out. Sure. If you have a kid, like I forgot about every one of these packs had a sticker in it. So Ian was taking all the stickers out, the team stickers. He was trying to put them in the divisions. I tried to tell him, the divisions were different back then than the divisions now. There were teams in the American League now that they're now. I mean, the Astros, he's like, the Astros, they're in the American League, not that they were in the National League. Like, it's a whole, a whole to do, right? And so he's got the stickers, subsets. But what was amazing about it is now that we've done it 2 weeks in a row, he's pulling out Cal Ripken cards. And he's like, oh, Cal Ripken, he was really good, right? And he played for a long time. He never missed a game. And he pulls out Nolan Ryan. He's like, this guy had 7 no-hitters because we talked about that last week. And here he is taking out like another generation's players with wax. I don't know that I can go buy a box of basketball cards from the 80s. I mean, maybe some Skybox for basketball, and you had some Jordans. I mean, we've done that also. It's just an interesting thing to do if you're like me and you got a kid and you're trying to get him into cards and have some fun. We enjoyed that. The best part was we pulled a Billy Ripken. And he was like, no, because it was a corrected one with a black box. They put a little black square over the bat to cover the F word, on that, that's the FF error on the bat knob that we talked about and given as a play. And he's like, no, it doesn't say it. I don't want to bring this to school. He doesn't want to explain it to his friends what it's supposed to say under there, why they put a black box on it. But it's cool, $35, get a little history, get a little, exposure to another generation. He was not happy that we didn't get a Griffin. We got a bunch of Sheffield rookies, we got a couple of other guys, and it's just fun. So my play for you guys is, even if you don't have a kid and you're opening with this, I had a blast with this for $35, which blast is a great word because you can't even buy a blaster of modern stuff now for that. So find that. I mean, my LCS, I think this is one of the things that the distributors are doing. Like he wanted to get an 89 upper deck box so you can make some profit on it because that's got the good Griffey in it, and they made him take some of these in order to get that. Right, so he's sitting there with the Bowman and the Donruss and the whole deal. I looked on eBay; they're the same price. $35, $40. You get one of these boxes, $33. It's just a cool thing, and if you're a dealer, right, buy one of these, throw it on your table. Kids walk by, it's literally less than $1 a pack, right? Somebody walks by, they got their kid with them, they're looking at it, grab one of these, give a pack to a kid. Maybe they pull a Griffey rookie out of it, and their dad or mom, their dad who's probably shopping with them will appreciate that. Maybe open a pack, tell them who the guys are, and spend some money at your table. It's just some of the stuff that I was thinking about, while opening the stuff this week and last week, because I really haven't done much of modern. I'm not a flawless, spender. I don't want to say I'm not a flawless fan. It's gorgeous stuff, but I'm not spending 10, 13, whatever, $1,000 on a box of cards. It's just not my style. Make sense, dude?
Is that the play to buy that wax box that you just
bought? Not just this particular one, but any. Especially with the prices going up of these things, have some fun. I mean, don't forget about the fun of these things. And some of the cards in here, you grade them, you're going to get more than the box price back, especially if you hit a Griffey. I pulled some cards out. I'm going to grade. And, I mean, he pulled a card and he walked over. I said, show that to your mom. And you know what it was? It was a Fleer rookie, Chicago Cubs, 2 guys on the card, side by side. 2 rookies, the Chicago Cub rookies. And one of the rookies was Joe Girardi. Rookie. 1989 Fleer. So you got my wife saying he was a manager of the Yankees. He's a manager. That's Joe Girardi. He played for the Yankees. He
this became a whole family affair today.
Yeah, man. Well, this was yesterday, but yeah, it was. I mean, and that's fun stuff.
Why did you put her in Julie's Cheerios? How is she? She's doing puzzles with Ian now.
Well, yeah, puzzle. I think it's just got to get done. Really, it's just got to get done. When things got to get done,
she was in work mode.
bring in the enforcer. Bring in the enforcer, and it's done. So how about you, man? You want to talk some basketball? You want to talk Ben Simmons? When is he going to play? What's that going to look like? You want to talk about the Super Bowl?
Do you think Philly was a little harsh on Ben Simmons? Do you think like the whole mental health thing should be taken more seriously in specifically relation to Ben?
It's a tough subject, right? Because if it's legit, and you have to assume it's legit, if it's a legit concern, right, then if he gets a change of scenery, he gets a new place, and maybe that helps him now, he's gonna get grilled. It's gonna be like, oh, what happened to the mental illness? All of a sudden, you got what you wanted, you got traded, and you're all better. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a difficult scenario, man. You some of these things you kind of have to take, at face value, and this is one of them. So maybe they were a little tough on him.
I'm excited to see, let's say, fully healthy, this Nets team versus the Bucks team in a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals. Who you got?
You think the same thing? Bucks against who? Then the Bucks against the Nets? I don't know. So right now, I'd say Bucks. Right? I'd say Bucks right now, only because we haven't seen anything from the Nets. You got an injured Durant. You got Ben Simmons, who I don't know if he's in game shape. You got Kyrie, who is, hasn't really played. He hasn't played at home. My hope is that
he has gray hairs in his fro.
Yeah, well, he's pulling out the Uncle Drew. I got gray hairs in my fro too.
He's not that old. It has me wondering. I mean, what's Kyrie doing over there? He looks like he's stressed out.
Maybe it was some stray burnt sage and caused some hair issues. Who knows? It is. Let the man be.
I have no problem with Kyrie. I have no problem with any of these guys. I actually don't know them.
But I think the Nets, if they're playing at full speed, right? If they're playing up to what their potential is, they could beat the Bucks. And Seth Curry and Andre Drummond are key pieces to that. Not just Ben Simmons, right? Drummond on the inside. I'm not saying he's going to stop Giannis, but he's going to annoy Giannis. And Seth Curry is a great kick-out shooter, right? If the threes are falling and they're doing their thing, I think the Nets at full speed, Nets at what they can do, can beat the Bucks. I do.
You know what's crazy, Cage?
Lots of
last year, the Nets won 115-107 in Game 1. Game 2, do you remember Game 2?
Mm-mm.
That was the game where they blew them out by 40 points. I think they were up by 50. And
the Nets blew them out? Yeah.
The Nets blew out the Bucks. And we said it's a wrap, right? It was a wrap. Nets are going to win the series, and they're going to probably go in to win the championship. And funny, maybe not funny is the right word. Game 3, Kyrie twists his ankle. The Bucks scrape out an 86-83 win. Imagine this. So the Nets scored 125.
Could have been up 3-0.
Could have been 3-0. You remember that game, even after Kyrie went out, how much the Bucks grinded that win out. And it's crazy to me how little these like small innocuous events have such a ripple effect down the road. Here they are a year later. The Nets have broken up the big three. Kyrie doesn't play at home. Durant is injured with an MCL. It's just like all of these moving parts and how they've affected things. My play is actually on Giannis and the Bucks. All while this is going on, the only team that has continuity, that's improved their roster, and where their superstars playing better, in my opinion, is the Bucks. Every other team, maybe the Warriors fit that category as well. They have improved their superstars playing better. Every other team, you don't really know. I mean, if you go down the road, down the list, all right, Suns are playing incredibly, incredibly well. Still a young team, a little bit left to be proven. Warriors are playing well. But everyone else, I feel like they're a step below this Bucks team. And we talked about the trades for the Nets, the Sixers, but really the Bucks are sitting there saying like, we went through a lot of COVID. We went through a lot of issues, a lot of injuries in the beginning of the year. But we're in a great spot to win. And I don't think anyone's going to get in their way. And my play today is Giannis cards. And it's funny, I have $30 invested in this National Treasures collectible card. I actually forgot I had money in that card.
Oh, the one we talked about.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
text message, and it's like, hey, this card received $140,000 buyout offer, and this is a BGS 9 National Treasures card of Giannis. And I voted no, because I think that card has a lot more run. And I'm going to bring you guys a few different cards that I think might be worth investing in from a Giannis perspective. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just go down the list. These are cards I found. So the first one I'll start with is the Panini Totally Certified. Okay? So the reason I'm picking these cards out, make your own decisions. I think Giannis is my play today, but I went the extra mile to find you some cards that if Giannis does well, maybe these cards are still undervalued and haven't moved. The card that I think is the buy is the Silver Prism from his rookie year, but that's a $30,000 card in the PSA 10. So I wanted to bring you lower pop base cards. Here's one. This is the 2013 Panini Totally Certified, card number 236. In a PSA 10, has a pop of 79. Low pop, cool card, huge RC stamp, nice looking card, right? $450. That card was as high as $1,200. And you could see it trades all over the place, but very low pop. Let's keep going. Cage, feel free to chime in if there's any others that you think are good. 2019 Panini Mosaic stained glass card. Beautiful card, pop 237, $400 card. You can see it's trading at all-time lows. Now, this isn't his rookie card, but this is like a kaboom-like card that if stained glass ever really catches on, you have the best player in the world, and you're getting it for $400. Let's keep rocking. Let's go signatures. Here's a BGS 9.5, the Panini Prestige signatures. There's only 71 of these in BGS 9s, 9.5s, and there's only 20 PSA 10s. And here would be my play on it. $2,400. Something to look out for Giannis autos. In his early days, he was signing his full name, as you could see right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What he started doing later in his career is just signing the initials. So I do think long-term, where he signs his full name and it's a 10 auto, those are going to hold tremendous value long-term. So here's another one, Prestige Premier Signatures, card number 16. In a PSA 10 is $2,500. In a BGS 9, $2,000. I would lean towards the PSA 10 in that scenario. Another card, and this is really interesting, Cage. CSG. I found CSG overgrades cards. That's been my experience. They are some of the harshest graders out there, in my opinion. I think if you grab a CSG 8.5, a CSG 8, you could get that cheap. And there's actually no sales of this card, so we don't know what it is. Card ladder says $570. You might be able to get a CSG 8, 8.5, 9 for $100, $200, $300. I don't know. And cross it over to SGC or PSA. Here's another one, Power in the Paint. Remember Power in the Key Cage?
Mm-hmm.
So this is 2017 Panini Crown Royal. Gorgeous, gorgeous card. It's Power in the Paint by Crown Royal. Pop 11. This card is a little bit on the pricier side, but I think this could catch on. So this isn't his rookie, 2017, but a beautiful card for $900. 2016 Panini Donruss Optic Hollow. That's the first year of Optic. People forget this card had its run, but look at it now. This card was once $1,200. Yes, this was during the heyday where all cards were running, but right now it's a $150 card, and this is the Hollow PSA 10 of Giannis 2016, first year Optic. There's only 144 of them. You could get it for $151. At one point, this was a $1,200 card. His second year Panini Prism, Pop 404. Now, this isn't his rookie. It's a second year card. 2014 Panini Prism 73. This card is $70. This card was once $1,000. $70 you could get for his second year rookie card. And lastly, I love the Hoops Gold. Very classic look to it. The Hoops Gold, the 2013 Hoops, $600 card in a BGS 9.5. It's actually perking back up here. It was actually $370 at one point, $380. Might be worth taking a look if you could find a nice copy, whether that's a PSA 9, BGS 9, SGC 9. If you want to splurge and get the 10, I love this card. So this is a few different ways to play Giannis, where you're still getting an awesome card in a high grade, low pop, but you're not spending an arm or a leg.
I like it. I mean, listen, Giannis is a good investment. I mean, he's going to be playing for a long time. I think if I were being honest on Giannis, I think they got very lucky last year. I think your lead up on this, saying how they were down 2-0 and then Kyrie got hurt, and they still had to go to 7 games just to get out of there. To me, it says that the stars aligned for them with injuries on both sides of the coin. And they got a great matchup for them against the Suns. I think if they played the Suns again in the finals this year, they could lose. And the Suns, I think, are not even the worst matchup for those guys. I think there are some bad matchups for them in the playoffs in the East. I think the Nets retooled is one of them. I think Philly is actually one of them as well. Giannis is the team. And when he's busy with somebody like Embiid, you got to rely on the rest of your team to step up. And I'm not saying that the team can't. They are the reigning champs. My concern about Giannis is some of his cards are running a little bit already, and there's so many of them. I mean, there's just so many of them to choose from, right? And when there's so many different options for people looking to not buy that silver prism from his first year, it's difficult to call which one goes up. But on the flip side, what winds up happening is if he does get knocked out, they all go down. Every one of them goes down. None of them are immune to going down. So
every single one of those. So two things. And this is why you guys listen to this show, because you get, an expert NBA opinion and a casual fan's opinion. And what you saw play out there is the opportunity in the market. So a casual fan might say or might think that the Bucks, are threatened by the Sixers or the Nets.
Yes.
But someone who's watched this team knows that this team is significantly better than they were last year. And it's not just Giannis. You have Drew Holiday, who is elite.
He's elite. He's elite. He's an elite. He is
defender.
elite.
He's one of the best on ball defenders in the game, up there with Clay.
Elite.
And you have elite. Chris Middleton, who is one of the best second stars in the league. But then you have this thing out there called Bobby Portis, who is just a
fantastic.
Nightmare.
I mean, he's just
Bobby
top
75
player of all time.
You know Bobby Portis' numbers?
No, but I've watched him play before he was traded there. Because remember, he was on the Knicks and actually played decent on the Knicks for a little while. I actually gave Bobby Portis as a play, if you remember, 2 seasons ago. Yeah,
I wouldn't brag about that.
Prism rookie, which is a great card because Giannis held it up himself. So here you go. Casual, no casual. Forget about casual. Forget about all that fun stuff. You're betting on Giannis. For Giannis cards to go up, he's got to win the championship. I don't care if I never watch a basketball game again. The easiest way to bet on that is let's look at the Vegas odds as of this morning. And the play that you're making, for it to make sense, the Bucks should be the odds-on favorite to win the championship because you watch the games. I mean, you watch the games. We all now know that you watch the games. So because you watch the games, and you watch the games, you watch the games. The games themselves are what you watch. So you know that the Bucks have to be the odds-on favorite right now. But I looked before I said be careful because Giannis is not going to be it. I looked, and you know what I found? I found 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with odds better to win the championship than the Bucks. Actually, one's a tie. And you know who that tie is? Both at plus 700 with the Bucks? It's the 76ers. That team with Embiid that I said was going to give him a hard time. This isn't me. I'm not Vegas. This is a DraftKings/Sporting News article that has the Nets, the Suns, the Warriors, all with better odds to win the championship than the Bucks. And has them tied with the. Of course I agree with it. And it doesn't even matter if I agree. What we're talking about here is an expert NBA guy against a casual fan. So what I did was I took the expert's opinion, not you, because you're an expert in your own mind and on this show. I went to Las Vegas. The people were actually setting the odds for who wins a championship, which is what I was talking about. Not that Giannis isn't good. Not that they may not be so great, right? I said he's going to go and he's going to win a championship. If he doesn't, all the cards we're talking about go down. So I said, hey, I'm not an expert. I don't watch the games. So I went right to the betting odds. And wouldn't you know it, he's not favored to win. That's all. And if he's not favored to win, it doesn't mean he's not going to win. You may be right. As we've established, what do? You watch the games. Maybe these guys who set the odds don't. I don't know. Maybe they got the John Anthony thing. Maybe they're just they're making their picks Tuesday for Sunday's games. I don't know. But what Vegas is saying is Giannis isn't going to win.
So, Cage,
yes.
You think if you look at this chart right here, and
yes.
all great points.
Yes. Appreciate it. I got to start watching the games.
It wouldn't hurt. Do you really believe that?
The games. I got to start watching the games.
Giannis cards will go down if he doesn't win a championship?
100%.
Just real quick.
From where they are right now, yes.
They've gone down since they were $4,000. I'm using his base prism.
Change that because everybody's cards have gone down. And just look at the last 2 months.
2 months.
Is there a way to do a 1 month chart? 3 months. 3 months is fine. And it's flat.
Down in the last 3 months.
Well, do 1 month. Then do 1 month.
1 month. Cool.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
And it should be flat.
It's actually still down from 1650 to 1500, down 10%.
Yeah. There you go. One card. 1600 to 1500. 1650 to 1500. It's down 10%.
My curiosity.
They look that line pretty flat on all those cards. They look pretty flat. The prism's going down because, believe it or not, people are still coming back. People are still getting those prisms back from PSA. So that's probably why that's
people are still getting Giannis 2013 prisms back from PSA.
Of course.
But you just said 2 days ago that no one's getting any Trace Silvers back from PSA.
Your play today, and I'll replay the transcript for you if you like, was to go buy a CSG one, crack it out, and send it to Beckett or PSA. So either they are getting them back from PSA or literally no one is listening to you. Which one is it? Is no one listening to your plays? I think people should listen to your plays. They're money makers.
Until the future.
Your
Someone
play.
will be listening to this play in the future.
But you think you're the only person who told people to crack a prism Giannis and get it graded by PSA? Of course they're getting graded. Of course they're coming back.
All right. Well,
100%.
So 2 things. One
of the more graded cards and one of the more graded guys. But even that, he's staying the way it is because the team is winning.
It's not one of the most graded cards. The Luka base prism is the most graded card. There's only 2,500 PSA 10s of his base card.
10s are tough because people weren't pulling them out of the pack and sending them to PSA in 2013 like they were doing with Luka.
So you brought up some odds. Warriors and Suns to win the championship, and then Nets and Sixers. The benefit the Bucks have is the Warriors or the Suns are going to beat up on each other, right? And one of them is going to make it. The other's not going to make it to the finals. Now, Nets and Sixers, the only other 2 teams out of the East. How can someone let's just forget the odds. How can someone realistically say that the Nets or the Sixers are better or odds on favorites better than the Bucks to win a championship when both of those teams have been dysfunctional all year? None of them have proven that they're an elite team other than having a few elite players, and they've completely overhauled their rosters. How can you honestly say that either of those
it's not me. I don't set the odds. These are odds post-trade deadline. It's a 3-hour-old article as of time of recording this. It is a DraftKings on Sports News, on the Sporting News. And here it is right here. Below you can find the title odds. I'll show. I don't know if you get the glare, but there they are. It is literally a 3-hour-old article. So the most up-to-date post-trade deadline.
Use your brain,
not
the
me.
big brain.
No, I don't have to use my brain. I don't watch the game, so I don't want to use my brain. I'm going to take the brains of the people setting the odds. Because that's what we're doing here, pal. That's what we're doing. What we're doing here is we're giving people plays. No.
Do you genuinely believe that the Nets are the favorite to win the championship just because some guy wrote an article about it?
It's not an article. These are the Vegas odds. They're Vegas odds. Yes, I do. I believe that's the Vegas odds.
The probability that this team's going to win the championship.
That is what it is.
A line where they think that the average Joe is going to.
The Nets and the Suns and the Warriors significantly more favored than the Bucks.
But like if you could actually watch the games, you analyze the games.
Oh, there we go.
You
must that's be the one watching them. No, come on, man. You got to go to Vegas then. If you think they're wrong, your play should not be buy a BGS, CGS, CGC, LGS 9, crack it. It should be go take your balls, bring them to Caesars, put them on the betting counter, and go get the plus 700 odds on the Bucks.
How foolish could you be to suggest on a sports card show for people to go bet?
Boom. No, I'm telling you, you should do it. I'm telling the people who are listening not to buy Giannis cards because I think there's more downside than up.
Because, dude,
because I don't watch the game
time and time again.
What mistake?
You want to be contrarian.
No. I'm not being for no reason. I'm giving you the Vegas odds, and also the plays you made. It's not.
You must
it's
be
not,
if you're betting off of. You're buying your cards off of team odds. How foolish!
But team odds matter, right? If you're
don't.
betting, that Giannis is going to be going up, Giannis has to win the championship, right? I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Some bookmaker. Woo! You know what? We're going to do a Super Bowl show tomorrow, and we're going to not use any of the actual odds. We won't use any of the actual odds. We're going to use the Andrew odds, guys. Andrew's going to give you the props and the Andrew odds because he's the odds maker. He's got it down better than Vegas, folks. We're going to make a parlay that you can't actually get in a book anywhere. It's going to be you. I want you to walk into MGM and say, "Hey, I got a 5-game parlay. I need the Andrew lines, guys." I know you're saying that Odell Beckham's over-under on catches of 5.5, but Andrew says he watches the games. So Odell Beckham's over-under should really be 7, and I want to bet the under. Because can I get the Andrew line? I want the Andrew line. Because you guys don't know what you're doing. These lines are crap. Andrew knows because he watches. No? Is that not what you're saying?
The best thing I ever did was call you a casual, and I knew it would have residual effects. I didn't know it would have this kind of effect. But
it's not a casual. I am a casual. So what I did was I went and got the actual Vegas betting odds, which you're now trying to say are wrong.
I don't think they're wrong or right. They're odds. They're probabilities.
That's what we're doing. You're giving a play based on a probability that he's going to have success. I gave you the probability. And Vegas is saying the probability is Giannis is not going to win the championship. That's not me casual games watching, nothing.
Well, two things there. I'm giving you a probability that Giannis will win a championship and the Bucks will, but I'm also not giving you a bet to make. I'm saying buy a card, and if you buy the card and X doesn't happen, you still own the card. And there's a second layer to it where it shows you that. Just wait, hold on a second. There's a second layer where I show you that these Giannis cards are at all-time lows or relative all-time lows in the last 2 to 3 years, and in the last 3-6 months, they're not peaking back up.
So every card is at a relative low from the chart that you have. All of the cards you're looking at are at a low. Same as Luka, same as everybody. Cards are at an all-time low. Basketball cards are at a low. Almost everybody's cards are at a low.
Not.
Ja is a different story. There's one person. Yes, Ja is the one.
Joe Burrow's not. Justin Herbert's not.
I'm saying basketball. Why Joe Herbert's going to be down definitely, but why every time I got to bring up Muhammad Ali, I bring up Joe Louis. White guy's got to take Rocky Marciano out.
Curry's not all-time lows. Curry's cards are.
Why every time? Ja's the one. Ja's the one, and even his stuff's not even up that much. Crazy.
Think about this. Think about all the basketball calls I've made. I said that Ben Simmons
even Steph's starting to fall off.
I said Curry.
100%.
Last year I said
even
April.
Steph's
I said watch out for this Warriors.
Listen, Giannis. You can make the play on Giannis. Everybody can listen to Andrew. You can make a Giannis play. I mean, his stained glass. You got to hit it right. He's got to win a championship, and then you got to be in the right card. And it's just we're in a difficult spot here. If you're going to buy Giannis, the best stuff to do, and this is what I told you this week when we were talking about Giannis, I would even go fractional on it and make sure that you're in one of those cards. I actually picked the card we talked about. Is the one that just got a buyout. We didn't talk about it on the fractional show, but you and I talked about it. So I like Giannis, but you got to be in the right card with Giannis. So
I don't think so. I think any card of Giannis after he wins his second championship and probably his second MVP, third MVP, when people are going to start taking notice.
You think Giannis is going to win his MVP? You think Giannis is the MVP right now?
I don't think Giannis is the MVP right now. I'd say Jokic. I say Jokic or Morant is the MVP right now. I think the Bucks are going to finish. Can I finish, fucktard?
Yeah, Jokic.
I think the Bucks are going to finish first in the East. I think the reason they're not first.
Wait. They're going to beat the Knicks? You watch the games. You watch the games. I mean, you watch the games. The Knicks are going to finish first. The Bucks, they're going to have to fight for second because the Knicks are a runaway. They are so good.
The Knicks are down 9-0 to Portland Trailblazers. They haven't scored a point in 5 minutes. It's kind of embarrassing.
Listen, I like Giannis. My take on Giannis is many layered. We could do an entire episode on Giannis, even more than what we just did here. For some reason, Giannis is not a brand Giannis is not somebody that has the mainstream love that you need for the cards to move. I understand if he wins more and he's a multi-MVP, and if, maybe people start buying him. But you know what? There's more universal love out there for Luka, even though Luka's done nothing compared to what Giannis has done. And I know Giannis has been in the league a little longer, but for whatever reason, if you look at Giannis, his cards, they didn't perk the way you would think they would after the title.
They thought it was an anomaly, Cage. They thought it was a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake. He's going to be our generation's Michael Jordan. He's going to have 5 or 6 championships when it's all said and done. Dude, he's very freaking good.
I mean, he'd be very good, but I mean, comparing him to Jordan is a little silly.
Much better. We didn't even bring up the fact that now they have Serge Ibaka, which makes a huge difference. Now they could – their biggest issue is they don't really get out on defenders around the three-point area. They've always lived and died by allowing people to shoot the three. Now when you have a shot blocker in the middle, a true shot blocker, you have Giannis, dude, people are going to overplay shooters and force them to try to score in the paint or at the basket, and they're just not going to do it. This team is better than they were last year.
They may very well be. But if you're telling me the best team, the team that's going to win it all is Giannis, and the best we can come up with is Drew Holiday is a stud player. He's a lockdown defender, so the Bucks should be winning a championship because they got Giannis and Drew Holiday and Chris. What's his name? Middleton. Teams have put together super teams now. Teams are putting together, beast teams. And,
who is? None of these beast teams have won. The Lakers are terrible. The Nets are terrible. These beast teams don't work. What works is a cohesive unit, like the Suns, Warriors, and Bucks.
What did you? By the way, was it a ducktard? What is it? Do I have to say that now? So you're leaving out one of the teams that you've said was great from the beginning. And it's amazing how I know you watch the games, and I'm the ducktard. But you flip-flop. I mean, you're like a 14-year-old girl experimenting with her sexuality over here. 1 week it's the Warriors, and I'm Andrew, so I watch the games, and the Warriors are the best team, and they're going to win the championship. So bet on Clay. Make your pick. Clay. Steph. I love Dre. Oh, wait a second. Bet the Suns. Pick the Suns. Bet on Booker. Go buy Booker cards because Booker is awesome and he's the next Kobe. And then buy Chris Paul cards because he's awesome. And when he wins the MVP, because I think Chris Paul should be the MVP, even though he's not in the top 5 rankings, he's the MVP. And he's the greatest. And when he wins a championship this year, people are going to realize, and the cards that I'm telling you to buy, they should go up. And then add in DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges. And that Suns team is awesome. And the Suns team, they're better this week than I thought the Warriors were last week. And all those plays I told you to make, they're all going to win. And guess what, guys? You know who's awesome? The Grizzlies. That's my team. They play great team ball. You gotta buy the cards of Ja. You got to buy Ja because Ja's the MVP, and don't sleep on Jaren Jackson Jr. He's 11 feet tall and shoots 47% from 3, and Desmond Bane is built like a brick shithouse, people. That team is awesome. They play team ball, and I watch the games. So you got to bet on the Grizzlies because the Grizzlies are going to win. And I know I said the Suns were going to win, and I know I said the Grizzlies were going to win, and I know I said the Warriors were going to win. But guess what, guys? This week I want you to put your money in Giannis because I know I said Chris Paul was awesome, and I know I said Devin Booker was Kobe, but this week, Giannis is Michael Jordan. This week, Giannis is go get your Giannis cards, and I got some great ones for you guys. Hey, go buy the Power in the Paint Giannis because that's a killer because he's Michael Jordan, and it doesn't matter what the odds say, and it doesn't matter who's out there, and the Nets, pish posh. Kevin Durant, he's nobody because the Bucks, who are better than the Grizzlies were last week, and the Suns were the week before that, and the Warriors were the week before that. Guess what they got? They got Drew Holiday. Oh, my goodness. They got Drew Holiday. Holy shit. They got Drew Holiday. You know what? I got to start watching the games so I can be this smart.
I think LukaNation might agree. This is an all-time episode, and the lesson I learned here is don't call Cage a casual. He won't appreciate it. And
I am a casual. I'm a casual listener to you. And unfortunately, I pay attention when you speak. And not every team you've mentioned in the last month can win the championship. It doesn't work like that. You can't bet on every horse in a race. It's cheating.
So just real quick, because this is going to be fun.
And then claim that you picked the right one. I bet. You know what? I want the exacta box 2 with the 1 with the 6 with the 4 with the 3 with the. There are guys online that do that. And then after they bet $400 and win 27 when the chalk comes in, they're going to run around saying they picked the winner. Sheesh. I wish we was on camera, but I'm driving to pick up my kid.
You're all good. We're going to wrap with this last thing, okay, Cage? Can I have the final word?
I will put myself on mute because I'm having fun, man. We should do another episode.
I think we should. So you guys know I go to bed early, but this is a text message I got last night at 11:42 p.m. So a screenshot right here. I might actually pull it up. I'll pull it up because, that's just valuable to you guys. There we go. Let's go share screen. The suspense is building. So right here from Cage, 11:42 p.m. Collectible app. Breaking news. We have received a $140,000 buyout offer on the 2013 National Treasures RPA PSA 9. And it says, you are right about Giannis. And this was the card I said. Buyout offer.
That's right. That card. Not the power in the paint.
Guys, go buy the National Treasures Giannis card. That's my play today. And if you can't afford it, I believe Vesta card has like these 20 to 75% payday loans that, you don't need any collateral, nothing like that. You'll get all the money you need to take out a loan, line of credit, and go buy that card.
Oh, you just buy shares in one of the better cards.
Yes,
listen, point taken. Point taken. Not everybody can buy a National Treasure. I get it. I understand, but that's fractional. I did say that. I did say during this episode, there are other Giannis cards on the fractional platforms. That's not the only one.
There's an Immaculate, right? Or Flawless.
Yeah. I think there's multiple Giannis cards on collectible. There may even be some on Rally. I'd have to look.
Rally just sold Cage's Pele. Cage sold that Pele for $5, and now it's worth $1 million.
No,
so.
My Pele, like when we say actually my Pele is currently in the PWCC Premier Auction. My actual card.
That's
yes, the one that I sold.
Are you excited, annoyed, worried?
I'm watching.
You're preparing yourself to be pissed off.
I'm preparing myself to bid. But here's where I'm going to win.
And what do you think it's going to end at?
Well, that's going to be where I'm at. I sold it for $14,500, approximately. I think that's probably losing some fees and whatnot there. And the last I looked, it was at 17 plus the 20% buyer's premium already. But it's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, some cards have gone up since then.
Dude, every card is at the bottom. What are you talking about?
Well, I sold that card.
Doesn't win another World Cup. That card
I sold that card well before the 2021 put jump. I sold the card well before that. So,
what do you think it ends at? 50 plus, 60 plus?
No way. So what it has working against it, and the other thing I'm looking at is I believe this week. I mean, the hobby is a fun little thing, right? Kind of people know things, I guess, and that 9, that PSA 9 is sold for $1 million and change. I think people kind of knew that was coming, and you'll notice that if you look at Golden, Heritage, PWCC, there's a lot of the cards. I don't know how many there are, 50, 60, 70 total graded of this card, maybe even less, 40, but there's a handful available for sale right now. So I think that actually cuts against the 2 that I sold, because there's going to be other ones, and they're not that much higher. So what I was going to say was I may actually look to jump into a higher grade one. It'll make me feel better. Like, oh, yeah, I didn't get the 2, and, yeah, I sold it, and look what happened. But now I'm in higher. Now I'm in on a 5.5, So we'll see. That was my goal.
I'll split it with you if you stop yelling into the microphone.
No, people like when I yell. It's a rant,
They do.
you know. I mean,
700 plus 700. This guy on DraftKings made this plus 700. The Nets are plus 300. That means the Nets are the best team ever made in the history of Nets.
It's just Vegas odds, man. You're right. It doesn't mean shit. But I think if I'm doing my analysis of who's going to win the championship, the Vegas odds matter. You know, I mean, it's a nice guide for you to determine, where people are putting their money, where Vegas thinks it's going to go. And right now, maybe they and the hobby and everybody else is underestimating the greatness that is Drew Holiday. I mean, Giannis.
I got to tell you, the whole Drew Holiday hate in this last episode is hilarious because the guy is an incredible on-ball defender. I don't know what the debate here is. He's a savage, dude. He's a ball hawk.
I don't think anybody says he's not, but I mean, like, that's your number 2, right? That's the guy
number 3. That's how good this team is, Cage. People don't realize. People only look at superstars, but they don't look at. Bobby Portis is averaging 16 points a game, shooting 43% from 3-point range.
So who's won the last couple championships, right? We got the Bucks, then we got the Lakers, and who else? Who won before them? Go through it. You watch the games. I don't watch the games. So tell me who's won. The Bucks, the Lakers.
The Bucks, Lakers, Warriors, Cavs.
Okay. So it was the Bucks, Lakers, Warriors, Cavs, right? So you say, I know, the team matters. Who you have on the team, but it's not a superstar. They don't really matter. Everybody focuses too much on the superstars, is what you're saying. But it was Giannis who won. It was LeBron who won. It was Steph who won. It was LeBron who won. So how far back you want? I mean, it was Kawhi who won. So the superstar.
I'm losing you real quick, Cage. Giannis is a superstar. I don't know what the debate there is. Giannis is clearly a superstar. Yes, you need a superstar, but I think people underrate how good this Bucks roster is. It's not just Giannis. It's Giannis through the 10th guy. It is a very well-built roster. And then you add Serge Ibaka to that. This is a very tough team to play. Nobody wants to face this team. And I don't see many teams beating them. I don't think the Suns beat them.
I forgot about Serge. I forgot about Serge, man. You're right. I mean, just everybody, guys, who's been with us for almost an hour, just forget about everything I said because I forgot about Serge Ibaka. That just changes the whole thing. I mean, them picking up Serge Ibaka, it's huge. I mean, the Vegas has it wrong, guys. They have it totally wrong. And this is why I need to watch the games. It's just wrong. I got to admit when I'm wrong, guys. I mean, Serge.
Well, you don't have to admit when you're wrong right now. We'll see
Serge Ibaka.
April, May, June.
Yeah, but that's not fair because, I don't want to rub it in. The Bucks could play great. Giannis could play great, and the ball might not bounce for them. So, I don't want, just because they don't win doesn't mean that, you aren't right at this moment. Giannis is great. No one's going to say he's not great. But, it's difficult. It's difficult because every week there's somebody else who could potentially be that star, that moneymaker, that play. So
our NBA season preview episode, you guys can go back and listen to this. I said the Bucks and the Warriors are going to meet in the finals. My only real bad call this year was the fact that I thought the Knicks were going to be a number 1 seed out of the East, not because they're the best team. You could go back and listen to that episode. I thought that they had a very cohesive unit and they were really good defensively, and other teams weren't in the good position to make a run at the number 1 seed. I didn't think the Bulls were going to. The Bulls surprised me. The Bucks, I thought the Bucks would be where they are right now, having that championship hangover. I just thought the Knicks would be better, but the rest of my calls in the NBA have been spot on. This isn't NFL where I don't know shit.
All spot on. 100%. 100%. You watch the games, man. But I got to go. LukaNation, I hope you enjoyed this one. I 100% did, but I'm currently lost because I don't know exactly where I'm going. I got to pick up my daughter, and she's waiting for me, and I'm about a half hour late already because I didn't see her text come in during this episode. So yeah, I'm that asshole. So I gotta go. But I couldn't stop, guys, because this was such a great, lively, fun little debate.
Can we see your face one more time?
Dude, I'm fucking driving over here. Hello, driving. There's my face. Driving, lost. I don't know where I am. Take care, everybody.